Welcome to Tech Unplugged, within another episode of podcast, where we help entrepreneurs and business owners navigate the complex tech landscape. I'm your host, Clara, and today we're tackling a question I hear frequently from our listeners. How do you find and hire the right AI developer or development company for your specific project? As AI becomes more essential for competitive businesses, making the right choice can mean the difference between a game-changing implementation and a costly mistake. I'm excited to welcome Eric Mendez to the show today. Eric is the founder of a successful SaaS company that has implemented AI across multiple products. Before that, he was a non-technical founder who had to learn how to evaluate and hire AI talent the hard way. He's now helped dozens of other entrepreneurs find the right AI development partners. Eric, welcome to the podcast episode.
Thanks for having me, Clara. I'm thrilled to share what I've learned through both my successes and, honestly, some pretty expensive mistakes.
That's exactly why you're the perfect guest for today's topic. Many of our listeners are business owners or entrepreneurs who know they need AI capabilities but aren't sure how to find the right developer or company. Let's start with the basics. As a non-technical founder, how do you even begin to evaluate AI development talent?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? When I started, I made the mistake many founders make. I jumped straight to hiring without really understanding what I needed. So the first thing I tell any business owner is, get crystal clear on your project goals before you speak to a single developer. Ask yourself, what specific business problem am I trying to solve? What would success look like? How would this AI solution integrate with my existing business? Having clear answers to these questions will help you communicate effectively with potential AI partners and evaluate whether they truly understand your needs.
That's great advice. I imagine many listeners might be intimidated by AI jargon and feel they don't know enough to make informed decisions. How can they bridge that knowledge gap?
You don't need to become an AI expert overnight, but I do recommend spending a few hours doing some basic research. Understand the difference between machine learning, deep learning, and rule-based AI. Learn some basic terminology like training data, algorithms, and model deployment. This minimal foundation will help you spot red flags when talking to potential developers. For instance, if someone promises 100% accuracy for a complex AI system, that's actually a warning sign they either don't understand AI limitations or aren't being honest with you.
Speaking of red flags, what are some warning signs business owners should watch for when evaluating AI developers or companies?
Great question. First, be wary of any developer or company that doesn't ask detailed questions about your business problem and data. If they jump straight to solutions without understanding your specific situation, that's a huge red flag. Second, watch out for those who can't explain their approach in terms you can understand. A good AI partner should be able to translate complex technical concepts into business language. Third, be cautious of anyone who can't or won't provide concrete examples of similar projects they've completed. In AI development, experience with related problems is invaluable. And finally, be suspicious of unusually low quotes. Quality AI development requires time and expertise, and cutting corners often leads to systems that don't deliver value or require expensive reworking later.
Those are really practical points. Now, many of our listeners are trying to decide between hiring an individual AI developer versus contracting with an AI development company. What factors should guide that decision?
This depends largely on your project scope and internal capabilities. If you have a well-defined, smaller project and someone in-house who can manage the technical aspects, an individual developer might be sufficient. However, most business owners I work with are better served by partnering with a development company, especially for their first AI project. Here's why. AI systems require multiple specialized skills: data engineering, machine learning, deployment expertise, and ongoing maintenance. A single developer rarely excels in all these areas. A good development company provides a team with complementary skills, has established development processes, and can scale resources as needed. They also typically offer better continuity if someone leaves the project. That said, the right individual developer who has previously built similar solutions to your specific problem can sometimes be more cost-effective for narrowly defined projects.
Let's talk about cost. AI development has a reputation for being expensive. How should business owners budget for AI projects, And what kind of return on investment can they reasonably expect?
This is critical. I've seen too many business owners start AI projects without realistic budget expectations. As a rough guideline, small-scale AI implementations typically start around $30,000 to $50,000. More complex or enterprise-level solutions can easily run into six figures. Rather than focusing solely on the upfront development cost, I advise business owners to consider the total cost of ownership. This includes data preparation, model training, deployment, ongoing maintenance, and periodic retraining as your business data changes. As for ROI, it varies widely by application. For instance, an AI-powered recommendation engine might increase conversions by 15 to 30%, while automation tools often show ROI through labor savings and reduced error rates. The key is defining specific, measurable outcomes before starting development. Also, consider starting with a smaller proof-of-concept project that can demonstrate value before committing to a larger implementation. This approach reduces risk and helps you learn what working with your chosen developer is really like.
That's incredibly helpful. What about the evaluation process itself? What's an effective way for business owners to assess potential AI developers or companies?
I recommend a four-step evaluation process. First, review their portfolio and case studies, focusing on projects similar to yours. Ask specific questions about challenges they faced and how they overcame them. Second, request client references and actually call them. Ask about the developer's communication style, how they handled unexpected problems, and whether the solution met business objectives. Third, assess their understanding of your industry. Domain knowledge is crucial because AI solutions need to be tailored to industry-specific challenges and data types. Finally, evaluate their communication and project management approach. Even the most technically brilliant developers can fail if they can't translate your business requirements into technical specifications or keep you informed throughout the process.
I love that you mentioned industry knowledge. How important is it that an AI developer understands your specific business domain?
It's absolutely critical, especially for AI projects. Unlike traditional software development where requirements can be more clearly defined upfront, AI development is iterative and requires deep understanding of the data and business context. For example, if you're in healthcare, a developer who has worked with medical data will understand privacy requirements, typical data challenges, and regulatory considerations. This domain experience can save months of work and prevent costly mistakes. That said, strong AI developers can adapt to new domains if they're willing to invest time understanding your business. The red flag is when they don't recognize the importance of domain knowledge at all.
Let's talk about data, since it's so fundamental to AI. What should business owners understand about their data before approaching developers?
This is perhaps the most overlooked aspect of AI projects. AI systems learn from data, so the quality, quantity, and representativeness of your data largely determine your project's success. Before approaching developers, take stock of what data you have available. Is it structured in databases or unstructured like emails and documents? How much historical data do you have? Is it clean and consistent, or will it require significant preparation? Be honest about your data situation when talking to potential partners. A good AI developer will help you assess whether your existing data is sufficient or suggest ways to gather what you need. Many business owners don't realize that data preparation often consumes 60 to 80% of AI project time and budget. Having realistic expectations about this helps avoid surprises later.
What about intellectual property considerations? How should business owners protect their ideas and data when working with external AI developers?
This is crucial. Start with a solid non-disclosure agreement before sharing sensitive business information or innovative ideas. Beyond that, your development contract should clearly specify who owns the resulting intellectual property. Typically, you want to own the custom AI models developed specifically for your business, while the development company may retain rights to their underlying frameworks and tools. Make sure these distinctions are clear in your agreement. For data privacy, ensure your contract includes provisions about data handling, storage security, and compliance with relevant regulations like GDPR or CCPA. Ask specific questions about how they'll protect your data during development. Finally, discuss model maintenance and knowledge transfer. You don't want to be completely dependent on one developer for updates or unable to switch providers later if needed.
Once a business owner has selected an AI developer or company, how can they ensure the project stays on track and delivers real business value?
Success requires active involvement throughout the process. First, establish clear milestones with defined acceptance criteria. AI projects can become moving targets without these guardrails. Request regular demonstrations of progress, not just technical updates. You should be able to see and interact with the developing solution at each stage. Assign someone from your team as the primary liaison who understands both the business goals and can communicate effectively with the technical team. This person doesn't need to be technical but should be good at translating business needs. Plan for iteration. Unlike traditional software, AI systems improve with feedback and additional data. Build this expectation into your timeline and budget. Finally, define clear metrics for success tied to business outcomes, not technical performance alone. An AI system with impressive technical metrics that doesn't solve your business problem is ultimately a failed project.
Those are excellent strategies. Let's talk about timing. How long should business owners expect an AI project to take from initial concept to deployment?
This varies considerably based on project complexity, but here's a general framework. Small, focused AI projects with well-defined scope and clean data might take 3 to 6 months from concept to initial deployment. More complex projects typically require 6 to 12 months, with the first few months heavily focused on data preparation and model development, followed by integration, testing, and refinement. Enterprise-scale AI implementations can take 12 to 24 months or longer, especially if they require extensive integration with existing systems or involve sensitive data with regulatory considerations. The key is to plan for a phased approach rather than waiting for a perfect end product. Deploy smaller components that deliver value while continuing to develop more complex features. This provides earlier ROI and valuable real-world feedback.
We've covered a lot of ground, but are there any other crucial considerations business owners should keep in mind when hiring AI talent?
Yes, I'd emphasize the importance of thinking beyond just development to implementation and maintenance. Ask potential partners about their approach to model monitoring, performance degradation over time, and retraining processes. Also consider explainability requirements. Will you need to understand how the AI makes specific decisions? Some applications, especially in regulated industries, require transparent AI that can explain its reasoning. Finally, assess cultural fit. You'll be working closely with these developers on complex problems. Their communication style, responsiveness to feedback, and alignment with your business values matter tremendously for project success.
As we wrap up, what's your single most important piece of advice for business owners looking to hire AI developers?
If I had to give just one piece of advice, it would be this: start with a clear business problem, not a desire to implement AI for its own sake. The most successful AI projects I've seen were driven by specific business needs where AI offered a unique solution. Your first conversation with potential developers should focus on your business challenge, not technical approaches. If they can't connect their technical expertise to your specific business outcomes, they're not the right partner, no matter how impressive their AI credentials may be.
That's excellent advice, Eric. For our listeners who want to learn more about evaluating and hiring AI developers, where can they find you?
The best place to connect is through comments on this podcast.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and practical advice with our listeners today.
Thank you for having me, Clara. I hope this helps your listeners avoid some of the costly mistakes I made and find AI partners who can truly transform their businesses.
And thank you to our listeners for tuning in to Tech Unplugged. If you found this conversation valuable, please subscribe to our podcast and share it with other entrepreneurs in your network. Join us our next episode when we'll be discussing another helpful topic of tech industry. Until then, I'm Clara, reminding you that the right technology partners can make all the difference in your entrepreneurial journey. Tech Unplugged is produced by Konstant Infosolutions. Special thanks to our executive producer, audio engineer, research team, and to you, our listeners.